corporations need to see. They need to see and really care about the earth, the sea, the air, and treat their workers right and fair. Corporations need to care. Corporations need to hear the voice of people far and near that says we hold our planet dear. Corporations need to hear. Corporations need to be a model for the world to see and build a mighty legacy through responsibility. Live from Grand Rapids, it's Saturday night with Oscar Myers and Weekend Update.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Night Live Weekend Update. Tonight we're focusing on corporate personhood, a term that might sound like an oxymoron, but in 1886, the U.S. Supreme Court erroneously granted personhood to corporations with a slip of the pen. The act gave corporations all the rights and privileges of citizens, but as far as I can tell, none of the responsibilities. And recently, the Supreme Court, through Citizens United, also gave them the right to pour billions of dollars into our election process, making our government even more obligated to do the corporate will. Tonight, we're going to interview a corporation that thinks it's a person. Please welcome our guest, Corporation X. Good evening. Let's get right to the point now. What the hell makes you think you're a person?
Well, when my friends in the Supreme Court say it's true, it's true. How do you think they became justices? They just don't make mistakes.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Just out of curiosity, Corporation X, do you have a heart?
Well, of course I do. It's big and hard, and it's made out of gold. I go by the golden rule. Them that's got the gold get to rule.
But Corporation X, you look like a building to me. There's a door, there's windows, you got bricks. I mean, you don't have any arms.
Oh, yes, I do. They reach around the entire planet and beyond. I go everywhere.
Too bad for us. Too bad for us. Too bad.
Well, Corporation X, we're going to be joined by a real person, Ms. Toyle. She works for a corporation and she has a few questions for you. Ms. Toyle, please sit down here.
Yes, I have a question. Why is my salary so small and your salary is so big?
Well, that's an easy one. That's how capitalism works. You do the work, I get the capital. By the way, you have a job. I've been thinking about moving it overseas.
Oh no, I'll never complain again. I need this job and I need the insurance. Oh, I better get back to work. I don't have any more questions.
She's over a corporate barrel.
Now, that's what I like to see. She knows which side her bread is buttered on. Any other questions?
Yes, there's a friend of yours who's here, Senator John No-Brainer, who has a question. Senator?
First of all, Mr. Myers, the name is not No-Brainer, it's Knob-Brainer.
Pardon me, knob as in like doorknob?
Precisely,
Okay.
precisely.
Okay.
Oh, Corporation X, how are you? How are you? First, I'd like to thank you for all the wonderful help you gave us during the last election. We couldn't have done it without you.
Don't mention it. Citizens United really helped us out. We've got to thank our friends in the Supreme Court for that one.
What's your question, Senator, please?
My tan is fading a little. I'm wondering if there's something you could do about that.
Well, Senator, how would you like a trip to Jamaica? You and some of my CEOs could play some golf and have a few drinks and smoke some cigars. And then afterwards we could have a strategy session and figure out how to get rid of that new health care. that's going to take cash away from our stockholders.
That's a wonderful idea, and I assume you're going to pick up the tab for all this.
Well, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, excuse me, I've got to get back to Washington to make sure those tax breaks for the rich are working right, and then I've got to go to this thing for the tea party or something or other. They're celebrating. Nice talking to y'all.
Good boy, good boy. I'll be there right with you, right to the bank, all the way to the bank. Thank you.
Corporate greed. It's not what we need. Corporate greed.
Now, is there anybody else I can take advantage of? I mean to help.
Yeah, right. Well, we have another guest who'd like to ask a question. I want you to meet Mr. Fisher from New Orleans. He wants to talk to you.
Thank you for having me on. Corporation X. I've been working 6 months now to clean up that oil gusher, the mess that was left on the Gulf Coast. Some of those men that were on that platform when it blew up, those were my friends. Now, are you responsible for that disaster? I know if I created that problem, I'd be held responsible. I'd be in a lot of terrible, terrible trouble.
Well, those things happen. Can't be helped. I have to skimp on safety to keep the money coming into our stockholders. And as far as your friends are concerned, I have friends too. They're in high places. I'll never go to prison. And by the way, you've got a job to do cleaning up that mess. And your check comes from me.
Well, yeah, I guess it does. And I really need the money since I can't go fishing anymore. I guess I better keep my mouth shut.
Money talks and you don't. You don't. You don't.
Well, Mr. Myers, see how that works? No whistleblowers here. And by the way, I own this network, and your check comes from me, too.
Why, thank you, Corporation X. If you had a hand, I would shake it.
I do have a hand, and it's in your wallet. You get this TV program, I get the profit. As I told you, I'm a person. I'm everywhere. I'll never die.
Good riddance.
Wow, what an education I've gotten tonight. Corporations do rule the world. I love my job, so I guess I'll go back to interviewing people like Lady Gaga and Paris Hilton. There's no controversy there. Good night, everyone. See you next week on Weekend Update.
What a sorry end. A sorry, sorry end.
Oh, give me a home where corporations don't roam, where people are free from their sway, where never is heard the personhood word.